Are your kids aiming for top Ivy League colleges? Are your kids aiming for top 1% scores in SAT or ACT? What is the biggest hurdle? English. To have a strong foundation in English, Test Prep Pundits presents long-term SAT, ACT English program with robust curriculum and experienced teachers. For grades 6 through 10, just $80 a month. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us, 844-383-7844.
Fine diamond jewelry is now one click away. Maya Fine Jewels, a family legacy, manufacturing their own jewelry since 1975. Shop online for lab-certified diamond jewelry at Indian prices. Visit your trusted family jeweler, Maya Fine Jewels, at 1315 Oak Tree Road, Islin, New Jersey. Shop online at mayaffinejewels.com.
సిలికాన్ ఆంధ్ర మనబడి అమెరికాలో ACS WASC గుర్తింపు పొందిన ఏకైక తెలుగు విద్యాలయం. మీ పిల్లలను 2021-2022 తరగతులలో చేర్పించండి. తరగతుల నమోదు ప్రారంభమైనది. సెప్టెంబర్ 11, 2021 నుండి తరగతులు ప్రారంభం. మనబడిలో చేర్పిద్దాం, తెలుగు భాష నేర్పిద్దాం. మరిన్ని వివరాలకు సంప్రదించండి manabadi.siliconandhra.org, info@manabadi.siliconandhra.org, 1-844-626-BUDDY.
Hire international teachers who are well trained in U.S. curriculum for just $20 an hour, or for 2 students group, $15 an hour. We teach math, science, and English for elementary, middle, and high school. Contact info@Test Prep Pundits. Call at 844-383-7844.
A new wave in the test prep. Test Prep Pundits offer SAT, PSAT, ACT just for $499, with powerful teachers, with top 1 percentile tutors, and powered by stellar digital curriculum. Contact us at info@testpreppundits.com or call at 844-383-7844.
On her big day, she decides how it's going to be.
Get ready to make way for the brides of India.
With Malabar Golden Diamonds.
తెలంగాణ అమెరికా తెలుగు సంఘం TTA ఆధ్వర్యంలో న్యూ జెర్సీలోని కన్వెన్షన్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పో సెంటర్లో మే 27, 28, 29, 2022 ఈ 3 రోజులు మెగా కన్వెన్షన్ నిర్వహించనున్నారు. ప్రముఖ వ్యాఖ్యాత సుమా కనకాలతో పాటు మరెందరో సినీ రాజకీయ ప్రముఖులు విచ్చేయనున్నారు. అంతేకాదు ప్రముఖ గాయని గాయకులతో SPBకి ఘన నివాళి, కప్రిసియో బ్యాండ్ మరియు వైవిధ్యభరితమైన ప్రత్యేక కార్యక్రమాలు ఆహుతులను అలరించనున్నాయి. ఆటలు పాటలతో సినీ తారలు, బుల్లితెర నటీనటులు, జానపద కళాకారులు అందరికీ ఇదే మా సాదర ఆహ్వానం. For more details, please visit www.tdaconvention.org.
If tax rate is your issue, we're probably not your state.
Tone deaf and out of touch. Phil Murphy just doesn't get it. I'm 𝗔𝗏𝗟𝗨. It's not just taxes where he's failed us. Phil Murphy ignored the warnings and sent COVID patients into nursing homes. 8,000 seniors and veterans died. He tried to ban cops from notifying parents when kids are caught with drugs or alcohol. Who does that? Had enough? New Jersey, it doesn't have to be this way. We can do better. And when I'm governor, we will.
Tvasiatelugu ప్రేక్షకులందరికీ hello and welcome back to another fabulous episode of the talk show with experts. మనతో ఉన్నారు మన expert vakil saab Rahul Reddy garu. Rahul garu, thank you so much for being on the show today, Andy.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you. This program has been brought to you by movers.com. Whether it's local, long distance, auto, international, one name stands out from the rest. Log on to their website or call them for a free estimate. Test prep pundits help you achieve the best for your kids for ACT and SAT tests. They're offering SAT long-term English for grades 6 through 10, which includes mock tests, free mock tests as well. So please log on to their website for further details. Maya Fine Jewels, bringing our ethnic heritage all the way from India to the US. Log on to mayafinejewels.com and get yourself a piece of our rich heritage. Silicon Andhra Manabadi, accredited by ACS WASA in USA. Admissions are now open. Please register, join Manabadi and learn Telugu. For more information, log on to manabadi.siliconandhra.org. All right, Rahul Garu, I think the roller coaster ride hasn't ended, Vakil Sahab. So immigration changes now or never. So Rahul Garu, please explain to us what is happening, because I think a lot of people are kind of scared, frustrated. There's like a lot of emotions running around everywhere and mata. So can you help alleviate some of that, or if not, then can you at least tell us why or what's happening?
Of course, I cannot help to extend where there will be change in the Washington DC. Yes, Nitya Garu, as you pointed out, it's now or never. All activities are going on in Washington DC. There's a Plan C, which looks to be presented to the parliamentarian. It's going to be going. They're considering giving parole to the people who are present here either January 1st of 2010 or January 1st of 2011, which is not clear. They would be given a 8 years parole. The reason why they are giving this to parliamentarian is that if by any chance this doesn't get into the Senate though, the president by himself, without going to Congress, can parole anybody in United States. He has authority. Okay. He can give parole to, he can say, I'm going to give a parole to all the people who are present here on January 1st of 2010 or 2011, and he may give an employment authorization card also for them for a period of 8 years. That means that he's giving a chance, let's see if the Congress would pass anything. Otherwise, they'll get an employment authorization. That seems to be the top of their agenda. Okay. But we need to also request the Congress to include our employment-based provisions in there too. We have to force it. You and I have been criticized for a lot of people of wrongly predicting the things. Yes, our predictions didn't went out correctly. They did paste 80,000 green cards. It's not official yet how many amount of green cards were being wasted. Right. If we would not have put the pressure on the Congress, if we would not have put a pressure on the administration, they would have wasted 120,000, but they wasted only 80,000. So I would say that, yes, you can curse me whatever you want. I'm one of the person who's responsible for the 40,000 extra green cards. Yes. We tried to prevent the rest of the 80,000 green cards too. It did not occur. Maybe we should have tried much more harder, much more better, and we should try to do it. There is
Rahul Garu, are you trying to say you're not an astrologer by profession, Andy?
Of course, I would have predicted better, I guess.
No,
I would have predicted.
No. I'm just asking that because I think your guesstimates. I can only call it guesstimates because based on the data available at that point.
I have a lot of criticism. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll take the blame. Definitely the 80,000 green cards. We don't know yet how many thousand green cards. Right. One thing I can tell is that in the last 3 months though, they definitely adjudicated a lot more green cards than what they did in the first 9 months of what in there. So definitely it's a good achievement, but it's not enough. We have to make sure that at least this year we have extra 150,000 green cards. The way State Department has issued the November visa bulletin, Andy, we don't know if they're planning to waste more green cards. Looks like they're designed to make waste more green cards. So because if you look into the number of inventory that is available by July of 2021, though, there are only 280,000 green cards pending with USCIS. Out of those 280,000, there are always 60,000 green cards that are redundant. They have some criminal history or something that's been lagging for a lot of period of time.
Right.
But the rest of the 200, they have only like 220,000 green cards. So, and the rate at which they are projecting, it's taking 2 years for them to adjudicate. So they should have actually have 290,000 plus 140,000 extra 485 inventory pending there according to their timeline. So definitely we need to put a lot more pressure on the administration, keep writing letters to the administration. That's all we can do. I mean, we can't just say, okay, they come and the guy said, remember, they said, oh, more than 100,000 green cards are going to be wasted. We are not going to keep calm. We should not keep calm. We should complain. We did all these things. Our TVS audiences did it. You may curse me for it. I did provide the letters. You may curse me for people not predicting the prior dates properly. Yeah, you can also thank me if you want to for getting the extra 40,000 green cards for Indian nationals. That extra 40,000 is 4 years plus green cards for Indian nationals. Right. So you do whatever you want to. I will do my efforts to not get the wastage of the green cards.
And hats off to you on that, Rahul Garu, because I think to throw some perspective, I think this wastage of green cards, yes, it's been something that's historical. Is that right?
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not? No, like we have the per country cap, and anything that wasn't used by other countries have always just been let go of, right?
That was between 1992 to 2002, before the AC-21 law came in. Most of the wastage of the green cards, 250,000, happened between 1992 to 2002. From 2002 onwards, very less amount of green cards were being wasted because of the inefficiency of the USCIS. It only started in 2020 and 2021, though. Right. The previous green cards was wasted not because of the inefficiency of the government. At the time, the law was like this.
Correct.
At the law was, any country cannot be given more than 7% of the green cards. So practically what used to happen is that Indians used to get 7%, approximately about 10,000 green cards. The rest of the country people were only 90,000 demand was there. So what used to happen with the 40,000 is the USCIS has no option but to waste it.
Waste it, yeah.
Because Indians cannot get it.
No, and that was my point, Andy. It is because historically this has not been happening, right?
Historically it's not supposed to happen. You're right. It's not supposed to happen. It never happened before. It only happened in 2020 to some extent, 2021. Historically, 80,000 green cards were never wasted in 1 year. Never happened. Employment-based green cards. But let's try at this point of time. What is lost, we can still get them back. There are provisions in the Congress right now to get these 80,000 back. There is a legislation that has been proposed by Tim Knowles of the North Carolina senator, and there is also similar provision presented in the House to use this 80,000 back into the employment-based. I urge all the people to contact the congressmen to use these 80,000 to have these bills passed. At the same time, let's try to use the 140,000 extra green card or 150,000 extra green cards we got it this year.
Right.
That's what I request all the people to do. That's all we can do.
What it reminds me of, Rahul Garu, is దేవుడు వరం ఇవ్వలేదంటే పూజారిని తిట్టుకున్నట్టు, this is what seems to be happening అన్నమాట. But
that's fine. We'll take the burden. That's fine.
we have hearts big enough for that also. Yeah. But I think, Rahul Garu, when I see a lot of people channeling their frustrations, one thing that I'm reminded of is that everybody had to wait. It's not new, right? We, at least for at the time when I came, it wasn't easy for us to get whether it was EAD or our green cards. I came here in 2004 and I got my green card here at the end of 2017. So that is a long duration to stay here without having, a green card. EADs, yes, and literally every year or every other year we had to renew, and that is the name of the game. So, there is nothing we can do in order to change what's there as law, but at least we can try to help as much as possible. So when people are talking about like things have to move within like 1 or 2 years, I think the expectation is a little bit unrealistic, at least as far as I'm concerned. Not, I don't know about you, but
let us be punching bags for them. Let them take the frustration on us.
True. I'm just saying we are also in solidarity with them, Andy.
They have a lot of pain. At least you got to the adjustment of status in 2012. From 2004, it's 8 years you got to the adjustment of status stage. Now for them and for me, it took only 1.5 years to get to the adjustment of status then.
Yeah.
For them, it's taking decades for them, and they really are frustrated. I sympathize with them, and I'll try to do whatever I best I can, and of course you will cooperate.
So I guess my point is just that we're also, someone who's been through that, and we want to fight along with you, not against you guys. So, please remember that when you're watching the show. And on that note, let's take our first caller for the day, Andy. Wait, let's take a caller. All right, caller from area code 732. We ready for you now?
For me, it took only 1.5 years
Hello?
to get to that.
Caller from area code 732. We ready for you, sir?
Hello?
Hello? Chipman, sir?
Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Nitya Garu and Rahul Garu.
Hello,
sir. So, with the priority date moved back to 2012 in November, visa bulletin. I know most of the people from EB2 downgraded to EB3. Now, if they move the date for EB2 again, the people who are already downgraded going back to EB2. So, doesn't it create any backlog again in EB2?
Yes, good question. Let's first explain though how they can do it, Andy, to the list of the people. What he's telling is that if the EB2 moves forward, the people from EB3 can they come back to EB2? There are two provisions that they can come back. If you are maintaining a non-immigrant status, you can use and file a fresh 485 application. You can have both 485, one under EB3, one under EB2, you can have it. That's one way, but you must have been maintaining the non-immigrant status. If you got married to EB3 by using the EAD, you cannot file the 485 application again. Unless, there's a lot of extra procedures if you want to do that, but in general, you cannot. Now, there is another provision called interfiling. You can interfile and move from EB3 to EB2 again, because if you have an I-140 approval in EB2, which was there, and now you got the I-140 approval of the EB3, you can interfile and move it back to EB2. Yes, you can do it. Even if you are married to the adjustment of status, even if you're married to the adjustment of status, you can still do interfiling and move to EB2. You can do it, absolutely. The only thing that you should not do it, if you have moved out of this company, the company that has EB2 and EB3 approval, and you join company B, then you cannot use company A's I-140 approval to interfile to move back to EB2. So you cannot do it. Now, to answer your question, I did predicted this before. Well, one of the prediction came out right for sure, is that the lanes of EB2 and EB3 will be very similar to the Los Angeles lane. I told many times. So the Los Angeles lane, that's where my son lives. He said, I don't know. The lane I go in always doesn't move. And then I move from one lane to another lane. Guess what? The lane I moved from moves forward. So that is going to happen for sure. As you are telling, sir, it is going to happen. There will be a lot of switchings back and forth, back and forth. So when you are doing interfiling, I want you to be very judicious, because when you interfile, it may take a long time for the USCIS to reflect it. Especially we have done for many Chinese nationals like that, interfile due to EB3, and then guess what, EB2 moves, then we interfile, we move. It may take years sometimes though. Interfiling EB3 to EB2 is not as easy as the medical interfiling. We know we got a lot of emails. People are sending, oh, thank you, I got the green card because I did the interfiling without RFE. That's fine. That's good. You did that one. You got the green card. Thank you. But interfiling EB3 to EB2 is not as simple. It is not a clerk that will just do it. It has to be done by an adjudication officer. It'll take a while for the adjudication officer to figure out what is going on in the case and then do the interfiling and convert from EB3 to EB2. So just because EB2 moves forward, I do not recommend all the people just jump on to EB2. Just wait for 1 or 2 months to see how it's going on. If it's going on very bad at that point of time, I would want you to consult a lawyer before you do interfiling. But when it comes to medical though, I told at the most you're going to waste the money, just send it out. So which most of the people listen, some of the people got the green card too. But when it interfiling, I want people to be very careful before they do it. Yes, your answer to the question will be that EB3 sometimes will move forward, EB2 will move backward, EB2 moves forward, very similar to LA, Los Angeles highway, it will happen. Yeah. Let's go to the next person.
Thank you, sir.
I got another question.
Sure.
So what will happen to the people who already filed under EB3 and their priority date is current as per October 2021 visa bulletin? So will USCIS lock the visa numbers for those people, or since the priority date went back?
Good question.
We have to wait on EAD for a long time.
Yeah, good question though. The child's age will be locked if you remain in EB3 and not interfile. The kids who are aging out, their age will be locked for sure, okay? The I-140 has to be approved, 485 is pending, the child is under 21, the child age gets locked. He's going to get the green card. Even if it takes 20 years for you to get the green card, even if the child becomes 30-year-old, the child, if he is not married, will get the green card. That will happen. Now, the second question you asked is that, is the number locked for you? Unfortunately, no, it does not. That's the reason we did all those efforts to do it. Even though Charlie, in his statement at one point of time, said that if the person is documentarily qualified, then the date will be locked. I don't know whether he understood how the USCIS work, but technically speaking up, that does not happen. When the officer does the documentarily qualified, he practically gives you the green card. So no, your number is not locked if you did not get the green card by October. If it's backtracks, you are not going to get the green card in November. Okay, let's go to the next person.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, let's take our next caller, Andy. And in the meantime, Rahul, I have a question for you. This is from NIT57, says, I'm documentarily complete. Does USCIS lock in my visa number regardless of EB3 dates retrogression for the upcoming month?
No. This is contrary to what Charlie said. This is contradictory to what Charlie said. No, it is not locked.
Okay.
And you can you can blame me, Charlie versus me, you can, but no, that statement, what he said, documentarily qualified, does not exist in USCIS handbook.
Interesting. All right, let's take our caller, Andy. Caller from area code 630. We're ready for you now. Caller from area code 630. Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Hi. Thanks, Nitya and Rahul Garu, for taking my call.
Thank you, sir.
Last year, I applied my 485. My dates are current from 2 months. So after chatting with Emma, I found out my application was with field office. And what I did was my 485 was processing out of time. So I created a service request. So yesterday I got a mail from field office saying on September 14th, we issued a RFE and we are awaiting response. I never got a RFE nor my lawyer. So I'm not sure what's going on and how to proceed.
I want you to do 2 things. Raise one more service request. First service request, you told to adjudicate the 485. Second request, I want you to adjudicate it. I want you to request service request for getting the RFP so that you don't miss the deadline. I will tell you one other hacking the immigration, which actually can get you RFE more easy than anything else. But make sure that you do the service request. Here is the hacking. Do the freedom of information on your 485 application. That is working much better. You just ask for the freedom of information copy of the 485 application. You may get the RFE in there. And it takes only 3 weeks. Service request, 60 days, no response. Raise another service request, 60 days, no response. But this hacking is working much better.
Okay, so did your firm had any such experiences like whatever I had?
Oh, yeah. You mean to say they issued RFE and we didn't receive it? Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
It's not uncommon. I won't say that it happens in every case, but it happens once in a while. Yeah.
Okay. And Rahul, how about the deadline thing? Because the deadline is very tricky, and whether
that's fine. That's the reason I said once you raise a service request, you are in good shape for the deadline. First thing. Second thing is that if it's an RFE though, you have 87 days to respond. If it's 87 days plus, because of the COVID, we have extra 60 days to respond. So that's approximately about 150 days extra time. Even if it is a intent to revoke, especially for the medical RFE, they only give 30 days. You still have 90 days to respond. But if you raise a service request, you're in a good position. That's the reason I said raise the service request.
But service request, would it allow, since I had a service request just like 3 weeks
fine.
ago?
This is a different service request you're requesting. That's a different one. This is a different one.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Rahul.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Let's take our next caller, guys. And in the meantime, I have a question for you, Rahul Garu. This is from Harita G. She says she's currently in company A, H1B approved, I-140. Priority date is March of 2015 in EB2. Company B offering a full-time opportunity with an H1 transfer, but not confirming the I-140 transfer. Should I transfer to company B when the priority dates are this close and moving so fast? And if the company B ends up not filing this I-140 transfer, and if my priority date is current, can I go back to my old company and file it? What will be the process?
I'm not going to make any judgment call with regards to the priority date movements being touched so many times, but one thing is you can definitely go back to the company A after you join company B. If the company A is willing to take you, you can definitely go back and file the 483 application. Have I done any of those things? Plenty, many, several of those things joining back to company A. That's one thing. The second thing that I want to tell people right now with the IT field in particular, though, most of our audiences, at least 95% of our audiences are IT employees.
Right, yeah.
The IT has never been such high demand in my life. No profession that I know of has ever been in high demand. There are offers that are coming like anything. You are in high demand. I want you to make sure when you join the company is going to file a labor certification immediately for you. Okay. If they don't join another company, there is such demand. And here is some of the criteria what I noticed though. The IT companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft, Tesla, these are all the companies. They are filing H1Bs. They are filing the labor certifications immediately. Facebook, whatever, not all these IT companies. They are all doing for their employees much better. But when you join these financial companies or some regular companies, I don't like to name those companies, now banks, these institutions are not doing as good as the IT companies are. Right. So they are not doing the green cards. They're telling people to wait, and all conditions. They're not clearly giving an indication. So when your profession is in high demand, you can pick and choose a company that you want to go. I want you to, other than your salary, of course, which I know that you're never good to negotiate. Other than your salary, I also want you to negotiate on the green card application to check into when you're going to file my green card application. If they say we will wait until 2 years, that doesn't mean that after 2 years they're going to apply. After 2 years, they are going to consider. So you may as well negotiate the terms better.
Got it. Okay. Or at least, speak with company A to make sure that you can go back to them, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good thing too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's a good company that filed green card for him.
All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller from area code 602. We're ready for you now. Caller from area code 602. We're ready for you. All right. While we're waiting on our caller, let's take another question. Hello? Hello? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, Nitya garu and Rahul garu. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Hi. My priority date is December 2012. So now last month the dates went back, right? I was with, right now I'm with company B. I got a new perm, and then my 140 is also approved, and they applied 485. Now as the dates back went, so is it better to also file 140 with EB2, or do you want me to wait for some more time? Will it reach December 2012 by end of at least next year?
Okay, so you already got the EB3 approval. So what
EB3 140 is approved.
I would. There's nothing wrong in filing one more EB2 and keeping it as a backup plan, because you're not going to harm yourself much, though. The little money that you are spending may be useful, but it will not be harmful for sure.
Okay.
Because what do you got to lose? If the EB2 doesn't move, only EB3 moves, well, you lost some money for I-140, which is not a big deal for you. But if the EB2 moves, if you want to interfile, you can just use the I-140. You can use the I-140 approval and interfile it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you then.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you for calling. Let's take our next caller. And Rahul garu, I have a question. This is from Shabnam Sharma. Says, my husband is working with company B, and company A has filed a downgrade from EB2 to EB3 on future employment, and is waiting for the I-140 to get approved. Receipt date for I-140 is 9/8/21. I have already filed premium processing, no update on premium processing. Now, EB2 final action date is also current. Priority date is October of 2011. What should we do? Should we interfile and tell them to use EB2 I-140, or wait for EB3 to get approved?
You have to get the EB3 approved, though. The reason is the basis for your foundation is the I-140, which is pending. Until that is approved, though, you should not interfile with EB2. So you have to get it. Now, the premium processing, though, luckily, is getting better now. What we noticed is the Texas Service Center is getting much better in the premium processing. If you file a premium processing, even though it gets rejected, you refile it after 1 month, they are accepting it right now. Almost all the cases.
Okay.
So since if you don't have this I-140 approval, there is no basis for you to get the green card, because you're not eligible at that point of time to file a 485 application. So you have to work on getting it. Once you get it, then whether you want to do interfiling or not, I would definitely check with the lawyer to evaluate if it's a good option. Because remember, I told you, Los Angeles lane, look at me, the EB3, EB2, it's going to keep moving back and forth.
Right. All right. Thank you, Rahul garu. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Caller from area code 713. We're ready for you now.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for your help for our community. My priority date is June 2011, and I didn't file my medicals while doing the downgrading EB2 to EB3, and now I'm planning to do the interfiling for the medicals. So I didn't get a RFE as of now. So if I go with the doctor, and if the doctor finds today, and how long do I need to send? Means, can I keep the documents until I get the RFE? Means, like after 6 months, can I send? Is a validity period is there for the medicals?
First, let me answer the question. You can do interfiling by yourself immediately. You don't have to wait for a long period of time. The rule says that. The rule says that. Now, here is the people need to differentiate. If you got the medical after you file the 485 application, that medical is valid for 2 years. 2 years. If you got the medical before you file the 485 application, it's only valid for 60 days.
Okay. So that means 2 years.
Right. Within 2 years, you can still submit that medical. But if you are getting the medical, though, you can do one thing: request the doctor's office to give you 2 originals. Send one with the interfiling. Keep the other one for the RFE. if you get it.
Okay. Okay, I'll do that. And another question, what is the success rate for the interfiling? Is there any tracking will be there?
No, I would, based on the emails that we received from the people, especially Tvasia audiences to our office, it's about 50% success rate. 50% of the people got the green card, 50% of the people got the RFE.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling, Andy. Let's take our next caller, guys. Rahul Garu, I have a question for you. This is from Janwar Harish. Says priority date September 2014. Really disappointed by the way legal immigration is handled. What is actually going on? I was so hopeful of getting my green card by September of 22. But when can I expect a GC in hand realistically?
It depends on whether they're going to use the 150,000 extra green cards we have this year. Okay. That's going to be where we need to keep fighting on. If we let the things loose, they're going to waste all 140,000 green cards plus some extra. If we keep the fight on, we may get all the 150,000 green cards. Now, there is also pending legislation which may get passed about this 80,000. It is a bipartisan thing. Both political parties are supporting it. If we get that extra 80,000, I'm sure that your green card will be coming this year. So it depends on both of those conditions. We'll be able to use 150,000 and or using the 80,000 extra green cards that we wasted last year.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Andy. Let's take our caller. Caller from area code 317. We're ready for you now. Please press *6 Andy to unmute your line. Caller from area code 317. Let's *6 to unmute your line, Andy. Hello.
Hi, this is Sitra. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you. Please go ahead. You're back on mute. So *6 Andy to unmute your line again.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, ma'am. Go ahead.
Hi. Hello, sir. This is Sitra. My situation is like this. I have filed for green card for my husband and myself, and also for my son. He is 18 years old now, and I received my green card 2011 March 2011. Okay. So I received my green card in July, and my son and my husband's petition is still pending. And my son was on my H1B, and he's still on H4. I just want to know what is his status. And my other situation is my husband's company also filed for my son and for my husband, and with amended I-140. His case is still pending, and his priority date is 2007. And so I just want to check with you if I need to change my son's H4 to under my husband H1B.
Why is your husband's 485 pending for a long period of time though?
Okay, they filed one because he switched a couple of companies, and then he went back to his previous employer who filed I-140. So he joined only last year, and they filed 485 on December of 2020 only.
Okay, so there is no reason for you to transfer your son though. Your son filed 485 with you. You got the green card. He didn't get the green card. He's technically an adjustment of status with you for sure. If he has another adjustment of status application with his father though, he can be on both adjustment of status. There's nothing wrong with it. There is no reason to transfer here and there. He doesn't need to continue on H4 anymore. Okay. And his age is locked too.
Yeah, both of our priority dates are current. My question is because the petitions they are processing it very slowly. If it goes beyond 21 years, does it need to? He needs to convert to F1.
He will
right?
never age. Here is a magic. Boom. Okay, his age is locked. He will never age. I wish somebody gives that to me. He will never age. Okay. His age is locked. Okay. His age is locked.
Okay. Okay. His age is locked. So if he receives green card on my petition or my husband's petition, it will be valid, right?
Yeah, that's right. Even if he crosses 21 years, he will not have any problem because you told me your I-140 is approved. He filed the 485 and the final action date is current. He is still under 21. His age is locked.
Okay. So if I need to submit his non-immigrant status to college, can I still use H4 or should I submit the
EAD?
Pending
it's called pending adjustment of status, also called as pending green card application. When you look into the university form, they'll ask you what is the legal status. There is something called pending adjustment of status or pending green card status. So you have that column, you click that one and show them the EADs.
Okay. So they both received green card, or not green card, the EAD under my petition. Yeah, they haven't received EAD with my husband petition. So they can say if my husband uses my like the EAD that he received from my petition, then he will lose his
no.
485.
It's a bit complex question for me to handle in this one. You may want to consult a lawyer privately for that. It's going a little bit longer. It will take a little bit longer for me to explain it. Okay.
Okay, but if my husband uses my EAD petition,
you need to speak with me privately, ma'am. It's going to take about 15-20 minutes for me to explain. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling.
If the answer is yes and no, I will definitely say, but it's not white, black and white. There's some gray area in there.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right, Andy. Thank you so much for calling. Folks, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after a quick commercial break.
Are your kids aiming for top Ivy League colleges? Are your kids aiming for top 1% scores in SAT or ACT? What is the biggest hurdle? English. To have a strong foundation in English, Test Prep Pundits presents long-term SAT, ACT English program with robust curriculum and experienced teachers. For grades 6 through 10, just $80 a month. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us, 844-383-7844.
Fine diamond jewelry is now one click away. Maya Fine Jewels, a family legacy manufacturing their own jewelry since 1975. Shop online for lab-certified diamond jewelry at Indian prices. Visit your trusted family jeweler, Maya Fine Jewels, at 1315 Oak Tree Road, Islin, New Jersey. Shop online at mayafinejewels.com.
సిలికాన్ ఆంధ్ర మనబడి అమెరికాలో ACS WASC గుర్తింపు పొందిన ఏకైక తెలుగు విద్యాలయం. మీ పిల్లలను 2021-2022 తరగతులలో చేర్పించండి. తరగతుల నమోదు ప్రారంభమైనది. సెప్టెంబర్ 11, 2021 నుండి తరగతులు ప్రారంభం. మనబడిలో చేర్పిద్దాం, తెలుగు భాష నేర్పిద్దాం. మరిన్ని వివరాలకు సంప్రదించండి manabadi.siliconandhra.org, info@manabadi.siliconandhra.org, 1-844-626-BUDDY.
Hire international teachers who are well trained in U.S. curriculum for just $20 an hour, or for 2 students group, $15 an hour. We teach math, science, and English for elementary, middle, and high school. Contact info@testpreppundits. Call at 844-383-7844.
A new wave in the test prep. Test prep pundits offer SAT, PSAT, ACT just for $499, with powerful teachers, with top 1 percentile tutors, and powered by stellar digital curriculum. Contact us at info@testpreppundits.com or call at 844-383-7844.
On her big day, she decides how it's going to be.
Get ready to make way for the brides of India.
With Malabar Gold and Diamonds.
తెలంగాణ అమెరికా తెలుగు సంఘం టీటీఏ ఆధ్వర్యంలో న్యూ జెర్సీలోని కన్వెన్షన్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పో సెంటర్ లో మే 27, 28, 29, 2022 ఈ 3 రోజులు మెగా కన్వెన్షన్ నిర్వహించనున్నారు. ప్రముఖ వ్యాఖ్యాత సుమా కనకాలతో పాటు మరెందరో సినీ రాజకీయ ప్రముఖులు విచ్చేయనున్నారు. అంతేకాదు ప్రముఖ గాయని గాయకులతో ఎస్పీబీకి ఘన నివాళి, కప్రిసియో బ్యాండ్ మరియు వైవిధ్యభరితమైన ప్రత్యేక కార్యక్రమాలు ఆహుతులను అలరించనున్నాయి. ఆటలు పాటలతో సినీ తారలు, బుల్లితెర నటీనటులు, జానపద కళాకారులు అందరికీ ఇదే మా సాదర ఆహ్వానం. ఫర్ మోర్ డీటెయిల్స్ ప్లీజ్ విజిట్ www.tdaconvention.org.
If tax rate is your issue, we're probably not your state.
Tone deaf and out of touch. Phil Murphy just doesn't get it. I'm 𝗔𝗦𝗔𝗨𝗚. It's not just taxes where he's failed us. Phil Murphy ignored the warnings and sent COVID patients into nursing homes. 8,000 seniors and veterans died. He tried to ban cops from notifying parents when kids are caught with drugs or alcohol. Who does that? Had enough? New Jersey, it doesn't have to be this way. We can do better. And when I'm governor, we will.
ఆకర్షణీయమైన చీరలు, అబ్బురపరిచే ధరలు, అందరికీ నచ్చిన, అందరూ మెచ్చిన షో.
Folks, welcome back. Let's continue with our callers and questions. Let's take our next caller, Andy. All right, we have our next caller ready. We're ready for you now, sir. Ma'am. Hello?
Let's go to the questions and
Yeah. So please star 600 to unmute your line. Star 6 to unmute your line. Okay. Rahul Garu, I have a question here from Ravish Rao. Says, my successor in interest I-140 amendment is pending with USCIS. Can I still port the same priority date to a new employer while the I-140 amendment is still pending?
absolutely they can. No problem with it. You can go to the new employer and put the date even though your amendment is pending.
Awesome. All right, let's try a caller again. Andy, caller from number, last 4 digits of the number is 8439. Star 6 to unmute your line, Andy. Hello?
Hello.
Yes?
Yeah, hi Andy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot, Rahulji, for everything that you're doing. So I'm Nathan Reddy, actually. The question I have is, we have filed a green card, the 485 EB3. I-140 has been approved like 5-6 years back. We filed it in October 2020. This is straight EB3 filing. So we got a request for medicals on August 23. I mean, for some reason, our case has been lagging. It's been moving very slowly. Anyways, so it's been with NBC all along. So on August 23rd, we got medicals RFE. So we submitted the RFE immediately. So as per FedEx, the medicals were asked to be submitted in the local field office, which were delivered on August 30th. But since then, the case status still keeps showing that on August 23, we requested for your RFE, for medicals. I called the USCIS, spoke with the agent, and as per her, this was like 4 days back. She says the case doesn't show like any hold or anything like that. And she says sometimes it's normal, and she says it's still with the NBC. So the question is, I don't even know if they've even acknowledged the medicals, if they've even attached them. And my priority is being made.
I'll tell you a simple thing to hack it, okay? File the freedom of information. You will get the information much better instead of speaking with a live agent. It's easier. It takes only 10 minutes. It will take 3 weeks for you to get it. You can do it by yourself. You don't need a lawyer. Nobody will come to know you when you applied for it.
Okay. So and then just a follow-up question on that one. So what I did on like Friday was I've just raised a service request, not for, the delay of processing time, because they still say you are still in that 60 days zone.
In the processing time, you can't raise a service request, yes.
Correct. So what I did though was I said delay in the request, right? And I just said other or whatever, but I will definitely do that,
That's the best. I found it's not it's the TV Asia audiences that told me, and then we did it, and it's working very good. So yeah, being a lawyer coming on TVs, I get a lot of information too from you guys. It's a good one. You try, you do it.
Yeah, so I've tried that and I've done that, and they said they're going to get back to me in 3 weeks or so. No. The follow-up question that I have is that now, am I still hopeful? Can I be hopeful in the next 2 weeks? Because from November, it's only till Jan 2012. They got retrogressed, the EB3 got retrogressed to Jan 2012. So should I just look at it and say that, okay, this is the only 2 weeks I have a chance? Because in the RFE letter that I got, they said as long as you do it before September 30th, you'll still be considered in the previous year's quota, which I don't think is true anyways. So I just wanted to see is it still good to keep trying, reach out to the senator or whatnot, or at this point, it doesn't.
You can try. Definitely, once you cross November, you will not be in there. You will not get the green card. So you can try, but will it work? That's a different issue.
So any chances of getting it in the next 2 weeks?
There is chances. I mean, what are the probabilities you need to look into? You have a good probability. There's a good chance for it.
Okay.
You have a good probability. Right. I would give you anywhere between 10 to 50% probability.
Oh, all right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Andy. Let's take our next caller.
Thank you.
And in the meantime, Rahul Garu, here's a question for you from Ajay Kumar. Says, my priority date is March 2011 in EB2. I'm from Houston. I got intent to deny for medical end of June 21, and I responded back by mid-July. Still no response from USCIS. When I raised a service request, they said they will process it in the order received. When I asked Emma, they said my application is in Houston. What are my options now? Why is my application in Houston?
Well, if you are in Houston, there's a chance that you, just because I'm in Houston, it didn't came to Houston, guys. But if you are in Houston, there is a probability why it came to Houston's office. We're also noticing, Nitya Garu, that even if the people are not in that local office, some of the files were being sent to a different local office than the natural local office.
Okay.
The reason what we got it from the officers was that there are some room where officers are free in certain districts, though. So they are able to adjudicate those things by taking those files. For example, Dallas has a lot of demand for the employment based because Dallas has a lot of these IT people though. But Houston doesn't have that many IT people. So, and the employment adjustment of status is lower there. So some of the files, even though they don't belong to Houston, might have moved. That could be the reason. Those are the only two reasons that I can explain.
Okay, thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's see our next caller. Next caller, Andy. All right, caller. Okay, caller from area code 773. We're ready for you now. Caller from area code 773. We're ready for you. Star 600 to unmute your line. Please press star 6 to unmute your line. Hello.
Yeah, namaskaram, Nitya Garu and Rahul Garu.
Namaste, sir.
Yeah, my question is, we have applied for 485 back in October, and medical is also was submitted along with that thing. And our interview is scheduled on 12th of November. So how should we be complying with the vaccine? Should we be taking just the card, or do we have to include it as part of the medical report?
You said you already submit the medicals in October of 2020, is that right?
Correct.
You don't need to carry any other medicals other than that. Just since you already have the vaccine card, carry it with you, but you don't have to take one more set of medicals now.
Okay. So that, and even because the priority dates have been retrograded, it will be valid for one more year, right?
That is right. It will be valid for one more year. It will be valid for one more year. We don't know if this administration might change their policy and can extend it for 2 more years. We don't know. They did it until until September 30th. They said 4 years it's valid. So at this point of time, since you are going in November right now, absolutely needed for you to take the medicals.
Okay. And the follow-up question is, my another son is birth date is February 2002, and should we be applying for F1 now, or should we wait for some more time?
What is your priority date?
2014 August. Everything else is already been approved. I-140 is approved and everything is done, only because it is not current.
But his final action date has never become current.
Right.
So he is not locked in the CSPA. I would apply for F1 visa. No, I would apply for F1 visa. Now, for all those people where people have some doubts about if you file the adjustment of status, will the F1 be approved? We tried it in our office. We got the feedback. We have no issues in getting the F1 approval as of now. If there is any problem, I will inform you guys in my, as people will give me the feedback, I'll give you. Right now, we don't. Yeah, it may be worth for your son, who is going to become 21 soon, to apply for F1 because his final action date has never become current. His age is not locked up yet.
Yeah, because my elder son, who is already aged out, he has also not received the F1 approval, though applied in April.
That's fine. Apply for this one too, this second one too.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling in.
Let's
take our next caller.
Good things to hear, Andy. That's so sad to hear. One son has to swim on his own. Now the second son has to swim on his own.
I know.
That's sad to hear.
Unfortunate. All right. Let's take our next caller. But before that, I have a question for you, Rahul Garu. This is from Nikhil. It says, currently on H-1B traveling to India on EAD advance parole EB3. Can I switch to EB2 if my dates get current in EB2? And EB2 and EB3 I-140 filed by the same employer. Do I have to stay with the same employer?
Good question. Good question. I wanted to mention this. Absolutely. If you go to India and you come back and advance parole, or if absolutely you can still use the EB2 to convert because you're still working with the same employer.
Right.
So you can switch to EB2. You cannot file a fresh 485 application, but you can do the interfiling to switch from EB3 to EB2.
Okay.
He asked another question. What if he moves to a different company?
Correct.
Can he switch? Can he do the interfiling and move to EB2? The answer is no, you cannot. That's the reason I said to you long time ago when you invented the word Nitya Garu, married is right. Since this, in certain cases where the marriage, in this particular case, since he's married, no, you cannot switch to EB2 using your old employer's I-140 because the I-140 of EB2 belongs to the previous company. It doesn't belong to you. So you cannot switch to EB2 if you move to a different company though. If you want to switch to EB2 when you move to a different company, that different company, even though you are in adjustment of status, they can still file a labor certification. They can still file an I-140. Then you will be able to use the switching though. So definitely if people are anticipating in moving to switching to EB2, you may want to be careful because there is a problem. When you move out of your current company, you may not be able to switch to EB2.
Got it.
Or it will take 2 years for you to switch to EB2 by filing a labor and I-140. That's a long process.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take our next caller. And a caller from area code 443. We're ready for you now. Caller from area code 443, Andy. *6 to unmute your phone line. Hello?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hey, my name is Ishwar, and I'm an EB3 Rest of the World applicant. Thankfully, I was able to read Rahul Reddy sir's article about 3 years ago on cross-chargeability, and I was able to use that. So we applied for a 485 application in November 2020, and we've since received our EAD. We have an issue with our I-140, which was approved middle of last year. The priority date was incorrect on our I-140. My original priority date was October 2019, but when we received the I-140 approval notice, the priority date was listed as October 2020. When our lawyer filed a service request to get it modified for a typographic error, they came back and sent another I-140 with the approval date with the priority date as October 2010, which is also incorrect. Since then, they've filed another SR, but never heard back.
Why does it matter for you, prior date? Because you are current in any of the things, is right?
I understand. I just want to know that whether it will cause any issue or not.
No, sir.
You know,
it would. One thing. So this is coming on the I-140 or 485, the priority date?
This is I-140. On the 485, it had the incorrect. We got the receipt notice. It had the incorrect priority date.
I got the point. First thing is that it will not cause any problem whatsoever at all for you, because you are the rest of the world. You don't, so it doesn't matter for you anyway, because if it's 2020, 2021, you're current anyway. The second is we do notice these kind of errors done by USCIS, especially for the people who are Indian nationals. What we do is that when we send the 485 application, we make sure that we tell them the proper priority date is whatever the date it is. And it's fine. Their 485 still gets adjudicated. But in your case, you don't have any problem. You're good. Because your rest of the world, you should not be worried about.
Yeah, my attorney mentioned that they did send a large slip with a different color saying that the priority date is incorrect.
Good lawyer. So good luck. Yeah. And that's good. You're able to use the cross-country chargeability. I'll explain to you guys what he was mentioning about that he read the article 3 years ago. I just want everybody to aware of, being born in India is a sin, but being born elsewhere is a good, according to the USCIS and the laws that are here in the United States. So even if you or your spouse are born outside the country, you can use the rest of the world. It's called cross-country chargeability. That is what he was speaking about. So if your wife is born in United Arab Emirates and has never got the citizenship of United Arab Emirates, you can still use the cross-country chargeability, and your priority date will come out of the rest of the world.
Right. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the feedback.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling. Let's take our next caller, Andy. Rahul, this is an interesting one too. This is a question from Ravi Kumar. He says, can I interfile or apply a new 485 EB2? Will it jeopardize my kid's CSPA? Also, can I and the rest of the family still apply for a 765-131 on pending 485 through filing date, though filing date is not current for November?
Did you say 765 and I-131 is right? Yeah.
131, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though the priority date has backlogged, though.
Okay.
Even though the priority date has backlogged, though, you would be, even though the priority date is backlogged, you are eligible for filing the EAD extension. You are eligible for filing the advance parole extension. This is a good question. A lot of people are thinking that, no, I'm not going to get the EAD anymore. No, your EAD and advance parole will continue. When it comes to the CSPA age, though, the law says that it is the underlying I-140 that will determine the age of the kids, though. So I would definitely, before anybody who has the child locked under CSPA, do not interfile unless you strictly consult with a lawyer. Because the law says it's the underlying I-140. The child may lose a CSPA status, protected status, if you use the I-140, EB2 I-140 and change it, because your I-140 from EB3 might have been pending for a long time. EB2 may be pending only for 1 week. So definitely it has to be going through a lawyer, not just to do it by yourself.
Okay. Thanks, Andy.
And advance parole in EAD, you can file. You can file advance parole in EAD, absolutely no problem.
Awesome, Andy. Let's take our next caller. Thanks for that, Rahul Garu. And our caller from area code 662, we're ready for you now. Caller from area code 662.
Hi,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir.
Yes. Hi, my name is Bharat. I'm from Austin, Texas, and my priority date is 2012 November. I downgraded to EB3 like everyone else, and I have 140 approved medicals on file and metrics, but obviously I only have 2 more weeks. So I just wanted to kind of understand, is there any way for the officer to take a look at my file within these 2 weeks at all? Anything that I can do through senators or any other requests?
Typically, when you go to Senate or Congress, unless there is something odd about it or extraordinary, for example, some of your parents or whoever it is stuck in Afghanistan or something like that, they normally don't. They just will have they will just raise a service request, similar thing what you could have requested online though. So you'll get a typical response saying that it's still in the processing time. But nothing can be done right now at this point of time. Just hope and pray that it will get approved. Since you are in the San Antonio office, which service center is yours?
Texas Service Center, and when I spoke with them, they said it's still with the Texas Service Center and it's not in the field office. But they said that this can be approved through the service center, and it needs
it could be. Yeah, it doesn't have to go to San Antonio office to approve. Yeah, it can be approved in Texas Service Center, but they are the worst service center for adjustment of status right now. Even Tim Cook is trying; he couldn't do anything other than tweeting and contacting some congressmen. This is Tim Cook, the biggest CEO of the biggest ever company that existed in the face of the earth. He is trying to get the attention of the Texas Service Center. So who are you and who am I? So not much can be done. You can try to the congressman, but I don't know. Typically that doesn't work.
Okay.
But if I have any method, then go ahead.
So actually USCIS messed up my 140 for like 10 months. So I had to go through Congressman Carter to get it approved. Even though we pay premium, like they delayed it for like almost 4 or 5 months. Can I use this as an expedite request for 485 adjudication at all?
That was messed up, but there's nothing messed up here, right? So that's the reason I'm telling you what basis you can contact. That's all I can tell you. You can contact whether you're going to get the benefit or not. Hail Mary, just throw a dart there and see if it works. If it does works, it's definitely not going to harm you, right? So you can contact.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So thank you so much for calling.
Austin, the home of Tesla.
Yeah. Let's take our next caller. And Rahul Garu, this is a question for you. This is from Sridhar A. He says, my priority date is March 2016. Recently got my approved perm with the new company. Do you suggest premium processing for EB2 or EB3 or normal processes? Please advise.
Definitely, I would go one premium processing. The second one is your optional. I would file both EB2 and EB3, make both of them ready. I'll do one premium processing just to get the things approved and be in a position. But the second one is optional.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's take...
Why I'm telling people to have EB2 and EB3, Nithya Garu, I just want to take your permission to explain a little bit better, is that I have indicated previously also from past many years that the EB3 and EB2 lines will be very similar to LA lines. We don't know which one is going to, sometimes this move, sometimes that move. And when the boat comes, it's going to be easy if you have both I-140s approved though, to get into any boat. Whatever boat comes in, you can jump in. That's the reason I suggest it's a good investment for the people. That's what I would suggest. Because labor certification takes a long time, and I-140 regular processing will take a long time, and especially if the labor has been more than 6 months, it takes a long time. So it's always better to have both options available.
Yeah, I hear you, Andy. Thank you so much for that. Let's take our next caller. Caller from area code 240. 240, we're ready for you now. Caller from area code 240, Andy, we're ready for you. Well, let's just give them a minute. If not, then we'll get the next caller in. All right. Caller from area code 571, Andy. Caller from area code 571. We're ready for you?
Hey, hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, good evening. My priority date was December 2012. It was I had an EB2 I-140, so we got it downgraded to EB3. The I-140 got approved. And then as of now, right, the dates got retrogressed. I have a son who is 10 years old. I believe his age is locked.
Your priority date is what, December 2012, and that is EB3s, right?
Yes, it was EB2. They downgraded to EB3. It got, the I-140 got approved like on 15th of this month.
Okay, and right now, this month, your priority date is still current, the final action date.
Yes.
Okay. Your age, your son's age is locked. He will never become more than 21 for the purpose of the 485.
So now, I have been hearing that you've been discussing prior as well. But my question is, let's say now if I want to move to EB2 come next year, because there is a possibility that, the date might eventually reach to December in EB2, will that affect his CSPA?
No, he's fine though, because he's he's locked in, and he has 11 more years to go. And when you are going to do the conversion into EB2, he is still under 21. He still has, his dad still has an I-140 approval. His final action date is still current. So all three conditions are meeting for him. So if I were you, I'm fine in moving. As long as he's under 21, I-140 is approved, and the 485 final action date is current. You are fine to move to EB2.
Yeah, come the point when EB2 becomes current, right?
Final action date becomes current, yes.
Yeah, and another quick question. So I didn't get my EAD and AP. So let's say if I get my EAD and AP, when I travel, I can use just AP to travel and get back from India?
You can. Absolutely, you can. Then you will be...
And still maintain my H1?
What about your family, though?
So everybody, they are H4. So I'm H1 and they have it.
There is the provision only at this point of LI allows you to get the H1B extension, not H4s. So practically, if they come in, they cannot extend the H4.
Oh, so I was listening to your automatic revalidation. So I use my parole just to enter the country, and everybody will be in a parolee status, and I'll be having my H1 because they tapped into parole status. Maybe they are thrown out of their H4s. But let's say I come back and just go to Mexico and come in using H1s and H4s. Will that status kick back to H4s again using automatic revalidation?
You mean to say they have an I-94s? Oh, I didn't try for the people who are on advanced parole. Then they moved to Mexico and coming back. I didn't try that though. I didn't try that. I have never.
I was listening to your.
I got the point. Yeah, I got the point of the advanced parole, but I have not seen anybody doing it. I don't have the experience. If you want to try it, you can try it. And of course,
I was just thinking that that's like a workaround. Maybe when I get in,
you can always try it. You can always try it and let me know. Let me know if it works out though. And if it doesn't, you have an advanced parole to come back. You have an advanced parole to come back.
Yeah, because I was just thinking like if I come back in parole, right? When I go to India, I don't want to get stamped.
I got your point. I got your point.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it. That doesn't, but what you're trying is nothing illegal. If it doesn't work out, then show the advanced parole to come in.
Yeah, I mean, that thought crossed my mind listening to your automatic evaluation.
Believe me, there are so many sharp people. I mean, you guys are engineers. In India how they are. If you're smart, you become a lawyer or a doctor. If you are well candid, become a lawyer. That's how I became.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. That's a good suggestion. I don't see anything wrong.
Yeah, because I was thinking like I'll come back once my parole status will kick in, so H4 will be out.
Good idea.
So might as well
Absolutely innovative idea. Yep. Good try. Yeah. Nothing wrong with it. And you won't be blocked because you have an advanced parole. Good idea.
Yeah, because I have a backup to my backup.
Yep. Good for you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
Bye.
Rahul Garu, I just wanted to quickly touch base on the travel ban, Andy. So I know there's been...
Yeah. Thank you for asking the question.
Yeah. Just wanted to check in with you on that. So can you just let us know what
right now, it seems that travel ban will be lifted on November 8th. That looks to be the date at this point of time.
Right.
It will be lifted on November 8th. One thing is that the one thing we are not sure about is most of the Indians does have the vaccination records right now. There are two vaccinations. One is AstraZeneca, called as Covishield. Correct me if I'm wrong though. And there is called Covaxin. These Covishield and Covaxin. Covishield comes from AstraZeneca, which seems to have been approved by the WHO. The Covaxin doesn't seem to have been approved by the WHO. So we don't know if they would allow the people who have Covaxin vaccine. We don't know. And approximately, I think so if I'm not mistaken, between 40 to 60% of the people who are vaccinated in India have been done Covaxin. So based on the initial readings of what we see right now, it doesn't look like they're going to allow the Covaxin. But information will, we may be able to get much more information in the coming weeks.
All right. Thank you so much, Rahul Garu. For all our viewers, I know there's a ton more of them waiting to speak on the phone lines as well as on the live chat, but unfortunately we are all out of time today. But that doesn't mean we won't be here week after week trying to answer all the questions. Rahul Garu, thank you so much, Andy, for, as always, being here, being honest, being on top of it, and, being able to own up to all this stuff, which takes a lot of guts and heart of steel and butter. So I know we have happy people, we have people who are unhappy with the current situation, but let's hope and really pray that everyone's immigration issues get sorted out. And on that note, I'm going to be signing off. We'll see you next week, same time, same place, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are your kids aiming for top Ivy League colleges? Are your kids aiming for top 1% scores in SAT or ACT? What is the biggest hurdle? English. To have a strong foundation in English, Test Prep Pundits presents long-term SAT, ACT English program with robust curriculum and experienced teachers. For grades 6 through 10, just $80 a month. Contact us, info@testpreppundits.com, or call us, 844-383-7844.
Fine diamond jewelry is now one click away. Maya Fine Jewels, a family legacy, manufacturing their own jewelry since 1975. Shop online for lab-certified diamond jewelry at Indian prices. Visit your trusted family jeweler, Maya Fine Jewels, at 1315 Oak Tree Road, Islin, New Jersey. Shop online at mayafinejewels.com.
సిలికానాంధ్ర మనబడి అమెరికాలో ACS WASC గుర్తింపు పొందిన ఏకైక తెలుగు విద్యాలయం. మీ పిల్లలను 2021-2022 తరగతులలో చేర్పించండి. తరగతుల నమోదు ప్రారంభమైనది. సెప్టెంబర్ 11, 2021 నుండి తరగతులు ప్రారంభం. మనబడిలో చేర్పిద్దాం, తెలుగు భాష నేర్పిద్దాం. మరిన్ని వివరాలకు సంప్రదించండి manabadi.siliconandhra.org, info@manabadi.siliconandhra.org, 1-844-626-BUDDY.
Hire international teachers who are well trained in U.S. curriculum for just $20 an hour, or for 2 students group, $15 an hour. We teach math, science, and English for elementary, middle, and high school. Contact info at Test Prep Pundits. Call at 844-383-7844.
A new wave in the test prep. Test prep pundits offer SAT, PSAT, ACT just for $499, with powerful teachers, with top 1 percentile tutors, and powered by stellar digital curriculum. Contact us at info@testpreppundits.com or call at 844-383-7844.
On her big day, she decides how it's going to be.
Get ready to make way for the brides of India.
With Malabar Golden Diamonds.
తెలంగాణ అమెరికా తెలుగు సంఘం టీటీఏ ఆధ్వర్యంలో న్యూ జెర్సీలోని కన్వెన్షన్ అండ్ ఎక్స్పో సెంటర్ లో మే 27, 28, 29, 2022 ఈ 3 రోజులు మెగా కన్వెన్షన్ నిర్వహించనున్నారు. ప్రముఖ వ్యాఖ్యాత సుమా కనకాలతో పాటు మరెందరో సినీ రాజకీయ ప్రముఖులు విచ్చేయనున్నారు. అంతేకాదు ప్రముఖ గాయని గాయకులతో ఎస్పీబీకి ఘన నివాళి, కప్రిసియో బ్యాండ్ మరియు వైవిధ్యభరితమైన ప్రత్యేక కార్యక్రమాలు ఆహుతులను అలరించనున్నాయి. ఆటలు పాటలతో సినీ తారలు, బుల్లితెర నటీనటులు, జానపద కళాకారులు అందరికీ ఇదే మా సాదర ఆహ్వానం. For more details, please visit www.tdaconvention.org.
If tax rate is your issue, we're probably not your state.
Tone deaf and out of touch. Phil Murphy just doesn't get it. I'm 𝗔𝗦𝗓𝗏𝐬𝐿𝐴. It's not just taxes where he's failed us. Phil Murphy ignored the warnings and sent COVID patients into nursing homes. 8,000 seniors and veterans died. He tried to ban cops from notifying parents when kids are caught with drugs or alcohol. Who does that? Had enough? New Jersey, it doesn't have to be this way. We can do better. And when I'm governor, we will.